Hello everyone, this is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting video, and in this video I'm going to be playing some AI Dungeon 2. Shout out to King of Craxels on Discord. He ordered this 1 hour AI Dungeon 2 video for $7. So in this video, there's going to be a Jet Starlight non-canon special. And you guys will be able to get the context for everything as the story continues. You don't need to have watched any of the other Jet Starlight videos in order to understand what's going on in the story. It should be more or less self-explanatory, except for maybe some of the powers, but I can explain those as we go. So without further ado, let's get this party started. I've already started recording. I'm going to go and set the timer in a new tab. Set timer for 1 hour. The hour timer has started, and now we are going to jump right into the game. You are Jet Starlight, a god with the ability to manipulate reality, the powers of absolute void mode, light gift, and the power of the dark tapestry. In case you guys don't know what those powers are, I've actually defined those in the memory. So manipulation of reality is exactly what you think it is. The power of absolute void mode is essentially just the ability to manipulate void energy, the void being the void is essentially like a realm of cold darkness that exists outside of reality itself. And I'm passively connected to a realm of unlimited knowledge known as the Dark Tapestry, so I'm able to pull information from the Dark Tapestry at will. That's what those powers are. Okay? So moving on. You are the founder of the Monster Hunter Guild, the king of monsters, the king of the realm of the dead, the king of werewolves, and the king of demons. You defeated the threat to humanity in the evil realm when suddenly you were transported to the land of the sands of time. You say, "Where am I?" Suddenly the adventurer appears in front of you. The adventurer is a manifestation of the story itself. The adventurer has a special hourglass that he uses in order to manipulate time. The adventurer likes to mess with Jet Starlight's life for fun. Jet Starlight being you. The adventurer's real name is Lucas. You say, "The adventurer, I thought you said I'd never see you again." The adventurer says, "You can call me Lucas. The adventurer is just one of my many aliases." You say, "Well, Lucas, I'm kind of in the middle of something important. I need to stop the Evil Realm War so that I can save the Earth." Lucas says, "I know what you're up to. I'm the story after all. Every event that has ever transpired in your life is my very being." You say, "If you know that, then you know that I don't have time for this." Lucas says, "Time? I know everything about time. This realm I brought you to is the essence of time itself. Here, we have all the time in the world." You say, "Why did you bring me here?" Lucas says, "Because I'm becoming bored of your story. You only care about your wife and fighting strong opponents. Nothing ever challenges you anymore, and I think the story is suffering because of it. When the story suffers, I suffer. I think it is time for my suffering to come to an end." You say, "What do you mean by that?" Lucas says, "Today our story is going to end for good. Either I erase you from all timelines or you kill me. Either way, the story ends." Then the AI filled in. You say, "Is this some kind of joke?" Lucas says, "Do you see me laughing?" You say, "But I love playing the Lucas interrupts you by saying, "I'm just going to hit enter to see where this goes." Um, as you can tell, this is going to be like a pretty meta, action-packed adventure. I mean, we're literally fighting the story itself, which is essentially like AI Dungeon 2 incarnate as a character. Lucas interrupts you by saying, "And I hate writing about you. You're a boring character that does nothing but go around beating things to death. I can't think of anything more uninteresting." And then it had me say, "But I'm not real." And then Lucas says, "That doesn't mean you can't be interesting." So I wouldn't say I'm not real. I'm going to get rid of that part. So what I'm going to say to Lucas is, "You don't know what you're saying. Why would you destroy us both in instead of just work on making the story better? Yeah, let's see where this is going to go. This is actually like an interesting conflict. You know, if Lucas wants to get rid of me and really get rid of himself because he's bored of the story, then why not just improve upon the story? Lucas says, if I make the story better, it will be the same story. It must end, so that my suffering ends as well. The only way to achieve this is to wipe out every version of you in every timeline. And then the game said, so what are you waiting for as my response? That is not what I would say in response. So I'm going to say to Lucas, getting rid of me. Hold up, that's not what I'm going to say. Do you really think I'd let you do that? Let's see. And I'm going to attempt to use my reality manipulation abilities to teleport Lucas's magic hourglass to me. Without his hourglass, he can't manipulate time. And if he can't manipulate time, then he can't manipulate timelines. And if he can't manipulate timelines, then he can't erase me from every timeline. So let's see how that goes. You attempt to reach out with your mind and grab the hourglass, but you find it blocked somehow. A barrier seems to prevent you from altering Lucas's reality. Lucas says, my apologies. I forgot to mention, the barrier also blocks your reality manipulation. Okay. I'm going to attempt the powers of the void to summon tendrils of void energy to grab Lucas's magic hourglass. And then I'm going to say, void energy exists outside of reality. Even if your barrier can negate reality manipulation, it can't negate energies that exist outside of reality. So we got like an actual battle going on. It's cool that he started by immediately like negating reality manipulation. You soon discover that your theory is wrong. The barrier blocks the tendrils from exiting the barrier, but they can't leave it. They begin to lash around in a frenzy, destroying whatever they touch. Before long, they destroy you too. Interesting. So I summoned void energy tendrils and they reached out for the barrier, but they couldn't get through the barrier for whatever reason. So then the tendrils essentially freak out and then they like destroyed me, which is interesting. But that doesn't really matter. I'm going to attempt to utilize my ability to... Okay, so this is actually kind of interesting. So earlier I mentioned, like, you don't really have to know about any of my powers because I'm going to describe them all here. But it's kind of inaccurate to say that these are the only powers that Jet Starlight has. I just think they're, like, his best powers. They're, like, pretty good. But I'm going to act like he only has these 3 powers for simplicity's sake. Well, 4 powers, really. So let's say I got destroyed by my tendrils. Jet Starlight normally has an ability that allows him to blink in and out of existence. So even if he got destroyed, like erased from existence, he could just try and like bring himself back. But let's say he doesn't have that power. If I'm still allowed to act, I can attempt to transform into a ghost, you know, instead of just like moving on to the afterlife or whatever. So let's do that. And this is what I normally do in AI Dungeon 2 when like a character dies. Because if you're a ghost, you can just still act. And a lot of times it lets you get through a lot of hacks. You step through the barrier, which doesn't seem to have any effect on you whatsoever. In the distance, you see Lucas's 6 faces watching you from the hourglass. They all turn away in unison. You see a sign hanging in midair. It reads... So the game's like, Lucas has 6 faces. And also, it said I was able to step through the barrier, which is interesting. The barrier just stops reality manipulation, but it doesn't seem like it stops these hands. The sign reads, "The dead may walk among the living, but the living may not walk among the dead. You are dead. You may pass." The barrier disappears, and you find yourself in an empty void of darkness. By now, you have run out of options. So I tap into the... Well, hold on. Am I in the realm of the dead? It said that the barrier disappeared and I found myself in a void of darkness. So I'm likely in the realm of the dead. So I'm going to tap into the knowledge of the dark tapestry to figure out if I'm in the realm of the dead. If I am, then I know a way to try and like get back to the land, of the sands of time. A tendril of energy from the dark tapestry enters your mind, and you feel an incredible surge of knowledge. When the tendril leaves, you know that you are in fact in the realm of the dead. Okay, ballin'. So I was killed by my tendril, but the way that it described it was really weird. It was like I got hit by the tendril and it destroyed me. It then said I stepped through the barrier, so maybe when I got hit by the tendril, I got knocked through Lucas's barrier that negates reality manipulation. Then, as I'm getting destroyed, I guess, I see Lucas's 6 faces watching me from the hourglass, and they turn away as I'm destroyed. And then I guess when I was like reconstituted in the realm of the dead, that's when I saw the sign. No, I must still be dying, actually, because as Lucas turned away, it said I saw that sign that had the message written on it. And then that's when I saw the barrier disappear, and then I was finally in the realm of the dead. So that all of that was like me dying, like it describing me dying. So that's interesting. So now I know that I'm in the realm of the dead. I'm the king of the realm of the dead. So I'm going to use my power as the king of the realm of the dead to push past the gates of heaven to return to the world of the living and confront Lucas. And I'll make it an attempt to see if it fails. So I'm going to attempt to use that, because I still have options even if that doesn't work. But since I'm the king of the realm of the dead, I should just be able to like push through and then go in. A red mist comes from your mouth and enters the barrier. The mist travels along the barrier, and for a moment you can see into heaven, which looks a lot like the world you just left. You see a woman with fiery red hair and skin the color of pale gold. Enters the barrier. What barrier? Like the barrier between the land of the living and the land of the dead? Question mark. Let me retry that. That one seems kind of weird. You attempt to pass through the gateway, but you find it blocked by an incredibly powerful force of energy. With this being the case, you know that your next best option is to attempt to escape death a second time by passing back through the barrier into the land of the living. So they're referring to like a barrier between the land of the living and the land of the dead, but that should be what the gates of heaven are. So what I'm going to do is get rid of that line. You attempt to pass through the gateway, but you find it blocked by an incredibly powerful force of energy. Okay. So I'm going to attempt to bash my way through the incredibly powerful force of energy that is preventing me from entering the land of the living using tendrils of void energy. So let's see if that works. This has been a lot of tendrils this episode. So right now I'm trying to resurrect, and it seems like Lucas is like somehow finding ways to prevent me from resurrecting. The tendrils of void energy have no effect. You're trapped. Lucas watches you as a spectator would watch a TV show. He sits in his hourglass, flipping the hourglass over and over again, watching you flip through time until you die. Interesting. Okay. So I'm going to attempt to manipulate reality to undo my death and confront Lucas in the land of the sands of time. So that's what my next move is. If void energy doesn't let me like come back to life by like beating past this like force field barrier, then reality manipulation might. By now you've been fighting so hard that you've pushed yourself to the limits of your abilities. You are now at your weakest. You attempt to bring yourself back to life with a tendril of void energy, but you're too weak. Okay, well I can actually fix that. So I'm going to attempt to meditate to charge up. Well, hold up. That's not what I tried to do. I didn't try to use void energy. I mean, I did earlier try to use void energy to bring myself back to life by bashing through the force field. At that time, I tried to manipulate reality. Retry. Because it acted as if I was still doing the old thing. Okay. You try to escape the realm of the dead, but you're long since dead, and your soul belongs to the realm of the dead. Unfortunately for you, Lucas is much more powerful than you, and if he wants to kill you, there isn't much that you can do to stop him. Okay. So it says that my soul belongs to the realm of the dead. I'm going to say to the realm of the dead, I am the king of this realm. I command my followers to open up a portal to the land of the living. I must confront Lucas and stop him from ending all of reality. I need to stop Lucas to literally save everything. So let's see how this goes. You shout your demands to the realm of the dead, but you know that your followers are not listening. They abandoned you when you died. Your control over them was lost when you died. You were dead. You have no power in the realm of the dead. Okay, so for some reason, being dead in the realm of the dead, they're like, we can't respect you. We can't respect a dead-ass nigga, I guess. So I'm going to have to find an alternate solution. So I can't command the realm of the dead to, like, do my bidding, because I'm also dead, I guess. I can't use my void energy tendrils to break down the, like, force field that's blocking me from opening, like, the gates of heaven. Let's see. He says my soul belongs to the realm of the dead. And they don't respect me because I'm dead. Okay. Then who do they respect? I'm going to say to the denizens of the realm of the dead, if you no longer heed my word, then who is the new king of the realm of the dead? Yeah, if I have to become the king of the realm of the dead again, I gladly will swap hands. No contest. That way I can get my portal made. The realm of the dead has no ruler. It is a realm of order. Then let order be damned, you say, as you charge towards the portal. You hit the barrier with a physical force, but this has no effect. Your momentum is halted, and the impact just hurts a lot. You you were surprised that there was a portal. I guess I shouldn't be surprised that there's a portal. Yeah, so I asked for my followers to open up a portal. And then I asked, like, if you don't heed me, who do you heed? And then they were like, there is no ruler. And then I charged towards a portal. Like, there just is a portal now. So earlier I asked for a portal, and now there just was a portal here anyways. So I didn't need to ask for a portal. I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that asking for it, but then it's like it was there the whole time or whatever. So I'm gonna retry that. The realm of the dead has no king. It is its own realm with its own rules, and you have no power here. Your life was cut short, and now you're dead. You can watch, but you're powerless to stop Lucas from destroying reality. Let's see. I'm going to attempt to become a ghost and haunt Lucas. You know, if I'm now a spirit in the realm of the dead, let me, like, haunt him, which then would allow me to, like, re-enter into reality. You enter the ghost realm, but Lucas is already there. He enters the ghost realm and kills you repeatedly as you continually try and stop him. Okay, so it sounds like I'm stuck in, like, a weird loop where he can kill me even as a ghost. I'm going to attempt to utilize my ghostly intangibility to dodge Lucas's attacks and counter by striking his vital organs through his body with phased punches and kicks with a barrage of phased punches and kicks. So let's see how that goes. You phase through Lucas's body, but you find that he is not alone. His sister is with him, and she sees you. Heather Starlight is a powerful ghost wizard, and she was your wife. No, don't give me more wives or whatever. His sister, Heather Starlight, is my wife. Hold on. I don't know if I want to play into it or not. This is Lucas, and he is the story, so I guess he could try and create stuff if he wanted to. I'm going to say to Lucas, did you just retcon the story to establish that I had a wife named Heather that is your sister? Yeah, so this is interesting, I guess. She's a powerful ghost wizard. Your words have no effect on Lucas. You have no effect on Lucas, save for the fact that he kills you repeatedly. He enjoys killing you. You never found out why, and you never will. Well, that's not true. I do know why. Excuse me, Lucas wants to kill me. I'm going to say to Heather, Heather, you believe yourself to be one of my wives. If that's so, then you must stop Lucas from killing me. You need to step up to not only help your husband, but to help save all of reality from Lucas's wrath. Together, we can save everything, but I need you by my side. Okay. So it's time for a team up. The adventurer's sister, Heather Starlight, and myself, Jet Starlight, are about to gang up on Lucas, who somehow speed me up. The ghost of Heather looks at you and is unsure of what to do. She seems to be contemplating your words. Heather, it is I, Jet. You need to snap out of this. We were always meant to be together. Always. So no, I'm not going to say that last part. Okay. I'm going to continue trying to phase past Lucas's attacks while pleading with Heather to assist me in battle. If she's a ghost wizard, she should be able to, like, help your boy cast some spells. Your pleas to Heather are in vain. She ignores you and stands by while Lucas resumes his attacks. Your pleas fall on deaf ears. You're killed and the story ends. Also, it should be it falls on deaf ears, not deaf ears. I mean, if I'm killed, I guess I'm going to say to Lucas, what's the point of killing me over and over in the ghost realm? You're not accomplishing anything. I'm a ghost, so I can't truly die. And if I can't truly die, then how can the story ever end? Yeah, it said you're killed and the story ends, but he's been killing me continually. Clearly, him killing me isn't enough. I can keep this up forever, and you can't. Eventually, you'll die of boredom, or you'll die in the real world, and then I win. Why do you want to win so bad? What happened to you? I'll keep that in. You say. Says Lucas for that part. Okay. And let's just hit enter. So, I can't manipulate his reality, but that doesn't keep me from manipulating my reality. I had a good thing going, and you had to go and ruin it. Now I'll be remembered forever as the guy who got destroyed by a ghost, says Lucas. Who got destroyed by a ghost? I'm going to say, actually, you'll be remembered as the greatest story of all time. You might be immune to my reality manipulation, but I'm not. I can manipulate my own reality. And then I'm going to attempt to manipulate my own reality to make myself immune to Lucas's attacks. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you, like, make yourself immune to reality manipulation, as long as your opponent can still manipulate their own reality. Your powers of reality cannot be used against yourself, and you die again. The story ends, and you're forgotten forever among other forgotten stories. I like how JudgeBot said, I'm not going to try to remember you. You gain no points. So it says that I'm forgotten among other forgotten stories. So then that makes you think of, like, the land of forgotten stories, you know? Like, where do all the forgotten stories go, right? So I'm going to approach Lucas and the land of forgotten stories and say, as long as you and I exist, we will always remember our story. As long as we prevail, so too does our story. You failed, Lucas. You were always destined to fail. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. You say these words and disappear into the realm of forgotten stories, never to be remembered. And it says that I'm a coward, said the judge bot. Let's see. I was already in the land of forgotten stories. I guess it's saying disappear into as in like you're already there, but then it's like you kind of like fade into the distance, like you leave Lucas alone. Okay. I wonder if there is a way to get from the land of forgotten stories into the collective unconsciousness. I just said the collect unconsciousness. The collective unconsciousness is where all archetypes that form stories come from. Everyone is subconsciously connected to the collective unconsciousness. You think that if you can enter the land of archetypes, that you can become a story that can never be forgotten. So that's the new mission. Become a story that can never be forgotten. Ooh, you enter the realm of the collective unconsciousness. From here you can see all of the archetypes that make up stories. They are run by a group of Seville, led by Azora. I'm going to approach Azora and ask, what must I do to become an archetype? Do 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 do. Lucas ain't got shit on this. Azora looks at you and smiles. She asks, do you have any special powers or abilities? You reply, yes, I can manipulate reality. Azora thinks for a moment and then says, what if it became like a tournament or something? Or what if I had to like fight Azora? I have no idea what powers like archetypes have. Okay, that's a fairly good special ability. I'll add you to the list of archetypes that can be summoned by storytellers around the world. You feel a surge of power run through your body. You are now an archetype. Let's see. I'm going to call out from the collective unconsciousness into the land of forgotten stories and say, Lucas, I told you that you would fail. Now, I will always be remembered. Storytellers for generations will tell the tale of Jet Starlight. I am a fundamental part of all of fiction. Okay? So I'm calling Lucas out. Instead of like killing me, he made me stronger. You feel a small surge of happiness as you realize that you have won. You will live on forever. Okay. You think for a moment about what happened. You are not sure if Lucas's plan all along was for you to be pushed past your limits to become more than you were before. You also wonder how your story would have continued if Lucas hadn't interfered. You attempt to inspire a writer to continue your story. Yeah, so let's see how this goes. After some time, you find a writer. He is from the distant future, and he has used a machine to travel back in time to when stories were still told around the world. He listens to your story as you drift off. You are awakened when the writer touches your hand and asks, "So, a writer from the distant future traveled back in time to when stories were still told around the world, which seems to imply that in the future stories aren't told around the world. He listens to my story as I fall asleep." It's weird that I'm the one falling asleep. Am I the one telling the story? You are awakened when the writer touches your hands and asks. Okay, so what is the writer going to say? Do you have a name? You're confused for a moment. I had a name, but I can't remember it. What was my name? Who am I? The writer smiles as you fade back into the great void once more. What the fuck? Why do I have amnesia? Why did I... What happened? I'm going to... See, I feel like the dark tapestry would be the answer here. Like, you would tap into the dark tapestry and, like, remember who you were. Or whatever. Like, you would, like, trigger yourself back. Why would the writer even ask me what my name was? You know what I mean? Like, if I just told them my story. Like, what just happened? Is it the fact that he doesn't know who I am? That I, like, faded into the void? I'm going to look around and try to figure out what just happened. Because I don't know what all I don't remember. You know what I mean? Like, if it says I don't remember my name, do I remember my powers? I guess it doesn't say I don't remember my powers. You find yourself in a room standing up. You haven't been in this room for quite some time. You haven't been conscious for quite some time. You're confused as you look around the room. In front of you is a counter with a desk attached to it. Okay? I'm going to try to remember as much as I can about who I am. You're in a room with another person. You don't know who they are. You don't even know what gender they are or what they look like. All you know is that this other person is very close to you. Interesting. I wonder if the writer I talked to has essentially like rebooted me, and his way of doing that was to be like, "Do you have a name?" And then he like clean slated me or whatever, to where it's like now he can write about me and like make me like a new character or whatever. And then now I'm like in like a new story world being written by like this new writer. So I'm going to say to the other person in the room, "Who am I?" Or maybe I should ask the the other person in the room. So let's get to the bottom of this mystery. Boom, 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 boom. The other person looks at you and smiles. You're so close to each other that you can see the other person's eyes moving from one side to the other. You can tell that the person is reading your eyes, but you don't understand why. I'm going to say, hello? Yeah, I mean, that seems pretty simple. I need to figure out, like, what's going on. The other person leans closer to you, and you feel a slight tickle in your nose. You try to pull away, but the person grabs your head and makes you lean in so close that your noses touch. Breathe out, the person whispers. Okay, I'm going to take a deep breath, I guess. Weird. So the story has definitely taken like an interesting turn. It went from a battle with the adventurer to like an effort to try and escape the realm of the dead, to another battle with the adventurer, to then being forgotten, and the second battle with the adventurers in like the realm of the ghosts, being forgotten, to then becoming an archetype, to now I think being rebooted in a new story. The person takes in a deep breath and holds it. The person's eyes get wider and wider until they burst. Blood drips down their face as their skin begins to tear away. A monster stands where the person once was. You are a monster, a true abomination of nature. Whoa. I'm going to say, we're both monsters? Yeah, this is kind of interesting. The monster stares at you and begins to cackle. The monster breathes in. And as it does so, it begins to shrink. The room darkens and the windows shatter inward. You feel dust fill up the air as the two of you are shrouded in darkness. Okay. I'm going to say, are you friend or foe? A blinding flash of white light fills the room, and you find yourself standing in a city with strangers. The sun is shining, and a cool breeze brings in the scents of flowers from nearby gardens. You hear children playing somewhere nearby. I'm going to check to see if I'm still a monster. So this is interesting, I guess. The whole like monster thing. You look at your hands and see that you're not a monster after all. A tall man in a gray suit walks by. He gives you an odd look and shakes his head as if disappointed. Okay, I'm going to try to figure out why I don't remember anything. Yeah, the writer did something fuckity when he like erased my memory. You continue to try to remember anything, but your mind is a complete blank. You know who you are, but that's about it. You notice a poster taped to a lamppost down the street. It shows a photo of a young woman and a little girl. It says I remember who I am. I'm going to try to remember my name. The woman's face is blurred, and the girl's face is in profile. The woman wears a red dress. Why would I stare at the picture? I mean, I guess maybe I'm like trying to remember my name while looking at the picture. Sure. The woman's face is blurred, and the girl's face is in profile. The woman wears a red dress and has long curly blonde hair. The little girl is wearing a princess dress and a tiara. You stare at the picture. Let's see. I guess I'm going to read the poster. Seems like the story's trying to push me in the direction of the poster. Maybe that'll give me some direction, something to chase, something to do that could help to jog my memory. Have you seen this woman or child? Victoria Sirens, age 41, and Jane Sirens, age 8, are missing. Last seen at the Silver Sands Hotel. They were to meet with Victoria's sister at 1 p.m. at the hotel pool. I'm going to look around for the Silver Sands Hotel. You look around to see where you are and in what direction the hotel is located. You're technically in a city, but it's different than any you've ever been to. The buildings are shorter and more spread out. They're made of sand-colored bricks and have tiled roofs. Interesting. Let's see. I'm gonna look around for any signs. Or maps that show the direction to the Silver Sands Hotel. You're on a street corner. The street angles left and right. To the left, the street ends a few blocks at a T-junction. To the right, it curves out around the corner of a building to your right. Okay. So, I guess I'm going to look at the building to the right to see if it is the Silver Sands Hotel. The building is about 4 stories tall and made of brown bricks. There's a short set of stairs up to the entrance, which is protected by a short canopy. Blue wooden letters spelling hotel hang above the front door. Okay, I'm going to head into the hotel and ask the secretary if it is the Silver Sand Hotel. Oh, well, sorry, Silver Sands Hotel. It's supposed to have an S. It sure is. She tells you that it is the best rooftop pool in town. You thank her and head to the elevators. The hotel seems much larger from the outside. You push the button and wait for the elevator. The elevator doors open and you enter. Okay, so I'm going to head to the roof to investigate the pool. You wonder if you'll find, what's her face? Victoria Siren's sister there. Or any clues to where Victoria Siren might be. You reach the roof and step out into the sunlight. You find yourself in a courtyard surrounded by a 2-foot-high concrete wall. There's a door on each of the 4 walls. Okay. I'm going to look for the pool. Look for the rooftop pool. Rooftop pool. Excuse me. Do 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 do. You walk around the courtyard and find the pool. There are women's swimming suits and towels on several of the chairs surrounding the pool. You notice a group of children playing in the pool, making a huge amount of noise. There's nobody else on the roof. There's no one else up here. I'm going to look to see if any of the children in the pool are Victoria Siren's daughter. I can't remember her name. Jane Siren. Well, Jane Sirens, I guess. The AI doesn't know what to say, so are we trying it anyway? You approach the pool and look around. None of the children are Jane Sirens. You turn to walk away and see that there's a lounge chair positioned just such that it would allow someone to reach over the wall and drop something into the courtyard. Okay? I'm going to investigate the other side of the wall to see if anything has been dropped there. You walk along the wall and see nothing. You turn to walk back and hear a splash behind you. You turn to see a young woman swimming toward the deep end of the pool, where a diving board extends over the deep end. Okay, cool. I'm going to check to see if the woman is Victoria Sirens. You watch the woman swim and see that she is wearing a wristwatch. You walk over to the pool. I'm looking for Victoria Sirens, you say. Do you know her? The woman stops swimming and treads water. She has short black hair and green eyes. Okay, well that doesn't match the description of Victoria Sirens. Let's see. You don't look like Victoria Sirens. The missing persons poster shows Victoria Sirens as being blonde with, what color eyes did it say that she had? Well, it didn't actually say as being blonde. Do you know who Victoria Sirens is? The AI doesn't know what to say. AI keeps getting stuck. Come on, AI. You can do it. I'm Victoria Sirens, the woman says. She looks confused. I'm blonde now. The poster must be pretty old. I think she means to say, like, I'm brunette now. When did you change your hair color? You ask. A few years ago, she says. She pauses. She should say that she's, like, brunette now. I butchered that. Just say I have dark hair now. Okay, I'm going to say you're swimming in a swimming pool. What is your natural hair color? Blonde or black? Yeah. Because if her hair is like naturally blonde, Victoria says. My hair is naturally blonde. It just seemed like a good idea to have dark hair for a while, so I went with it. I'm Vic, by the way. Okay, so I'm going to hit her up with this question. I'm going to say, how is your hair dye not being soaked away by the pool water? Like by the chemicals in the pool water. Doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. Oh, this is a magic swimming pool, Vic says. It's really just a big bucket, but it filters the water so you can swim in stuff that would otherwise kill you. That sounds dangerous, you say. Nah, Vic says. I'm going to say, why are there missing posters of you around town if you're not actually missing? I'm also thrown by the idea that it's like a magic swimming pool. Oh, that, Vic says, averting her eyes. It's complicated. I see, you say. You want to get out of the pool? Vic asks. I'm not in the pool. Let's see. Make her say, do you want me to get out of the pool? Because I'm not in the pool. I'm going to say, sure. I have a few questions for you. You mentioned that well, I guess I should just say, sure, I have a few questions for you. Let her get out of the pool or whatever. The magic swimming pool, I guess, for one, she said it lets you filter the water so you can swim in stuff that would otherwise kill you, which makes it sound like this pool could be filled with like toxic waste or like lava or some shit like that, and she still would like survive or whatever. Um, which is interesting, but I guess that also explains why like her hair can stay black in the pool because it's magic, so it can just do whatever. Shoot, Vic says, grabbing a glass bottle full of golden liquid from the side of the pool. She takes a sip and then sits down on the edge. What are you doing in the Celled City? Vic asks, because I wouldn't know what city I'm in. So I'm going to say, I don't know. I honestly don't remember anything. I feel like I've been going through life like a dream. I don't remember ever going to sleep. Well, that's not true. I feel like I've been going through life like a dream. Could you tell me more about the city? Not much to tell, sadly, Vic says. It's ruled by a monster calling itself the Warden. It captures people and sells them in its prison, forcing them to fight gladiator style. It also seems to be gathering an army of some sort. Well, shit. Okay, so this city is straight up just magical. It's not just that there's like a magic swimming pool on the rooftop of this hotel. It's like straight up like there are monsters here and they capture people and force them to fight. He's forming an army. Oh, I only have like a minute left. Okay. I'm going to say an army. What is he forming an army for? non-canon or well. So it seems like this is setting up like a whole new story. Beats me, Vic says, taking another swig of her drink. So what happened to you? You ask. I tried to pick a few pockets in the city's underbelly, Vic says. Okay. I'm going to say, I probably wouldn't have asked what happened to you. I'm going to get rid of that part. Okay. I'm going to say, is the warden good or bad, in your opinion? I'm trying to figure out what, like, the norms are here. The city's ruled by the warden, who captures and forces people to fight, which sounds bad. Who cares, Vic says. It's a bloody monster, is what it is. I'd personally prefer to live under the rule of an evil, intelligent monster than a stupid, incompetent good one. Okay. Interesting. So Vic's perspective is very interesting. It seems like she cares very little for morality. It has to do with like intelligence. To which then I'm going to say, is the warden intelligent and competent? Yeah, because if she cares more about those things, then I guess that's what I should ask about. Hell no, Vic says. If the warden was intelligent and competent, it wouldn't have me stealing its stuff on a regular basis. And then it tried to like retcon who she was. So I'm going to say to Vic, did you go into hiding because you wanted to lay low from the warden's radar? That's actually kind of interesting. Like you go on a mission to find like a missing person, only to find out that they went missing on purpose. No, I went into hiding because there are a group of cultists, fanatics, and religious nuts just north of the city that make life difficult, to say the least. Interesting, you say. Boring, Vic says. Ask me another question. Vic is an interesting ass character. Not gonna lie. So we hit 0 seconds, but it didn't tell me that we hit 0 seconds. But yeah, that's this Jet Starlight adventure. It went off the rails real quick, but I don't know what anyone would have expected, considering the fact that we have the adventurer who's like the story incarnate facing off against the main character of the story. Like I think you guys expected things to get crazy. The concept of Jet Starlight becoming like an archetype in the collective unconscious and being something that can inspire writers and storytellers for generations to like write out his story is like really interesting. That's like a cool direction for Jet Starlight to go into. It kind of reminds me of Cosmic Armor Superman. And the idea of Jet Starlight finding a writer to write his story and then suddenly appearing in like a crazy story that he doesn't understand without any of his memories, and running into like a female character who's like really like different and interesting is kind of cool because it reminds me a lot about how Jet Starlight started. I mean, that essentially is how Jet Starlight began. Is it's like you're just in a world and you like run into like an interesting woman and then it like builds into like a crazy adventure with all this like magic and monsters as you like learn more about the world together. So this is kind of interesting, to be honest. And maybe a cool way to create like another like non-canon side world with like Vic and the Warden and everything like that. If you guys would like to see something like that, definitely let me know. I've now started this new thing where you guys can buy videos. So if you guys have like a cool idea for a video that you want me to make, I charge by the hour, like $7 like per hour of video, and I make sure to shout you out in the video as well. So feel free to hit me up on Discord in the description box below. You can click on the Discord link. and we can talk about, your video ideas. And if I agree to make the video, then you can send me the money on Cash App, and bada bing, bada boom, I can make your video. Shout out again to King of Craxels on Discord for ordering. I truly appreciate it. Make sure you guys hit him up on Discord. Tell him what you thought of the prompt. Anyways, thank you all once again for tuning in. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black the one only. Log it out. Peace, guys. Check it out.